This is a small clip from one of my main videos. If you like it, then please check out the original video. Okay, I love you. In the end, though, yeah, WordSpud sucks. Avoid it like the plague. Oh wow, speaking of plague, lice water, or as I'll be calling it from now on, Lice Water. Lice Water started off as a single-player mobile game before eventually making its way into this pack. The most interesting aspect of this version is that it allows up to 100 players at once, which to this day is the largest group a Jackbox game can support. Of course, later party packs would go on to include audience features that let up to 10,000 people spectate and lightly participate in your games despite the player limit being reached. Great feature for Twitch streams and large friend groups, but that doesn't exist here in Pack 1, so Lice Water supporting 100 players is pretty neat. I just don't expect that anyone will be able to find that many people who want to play this shit. Alright, so while I do believe that WordSpud is objectively the worst game in the Jackbox series, I could at least muster some enjoyment out of it. I could laugh at its expense, or at my friends when they were being funny and making the best of a bad situation. WordSpud can be fun. Lice Water though? Oh man, my group can't stand Lice Water. Do you remember when I was talking about You Don't Know Jack 2015 and called it the most vanilla trivia experience you can get from the Jackbox series? Well, that was a lie. That honor goes to Lice Water. Instead of multiple choice questions like YDKJ, this game instead asks you a bunch of true or false questions. It provides some strange fact, and it's up to you to decide if it's true or false. Get points for answering correctly, and a small bonus for being the first correct answer. And that is it! 21 of these true or false questions, and the game's over. Yeah, I am definitely not a fan of this one, and the same goes for just about everyone else. I already wasn't a trivia fan, and this is probably the least fun concept for a trivia game in existence. You Don't Know Jack may be a generic trivia experience, but at least it has its charm, and honestly, I don't even mind the format that much. Like I said, with a multiple choice question about pop culture or general knowledge, you can kinda use critical thinking to deduce which choice may be correct, and hey, you might just come across a question about something you're familiar with too. There is absolutely no critical thinking required to answer a true or false question though. It feels like I'm just flipping a coin for all these questions to determine whether I answer correctly or not. A majority of these questions are just way too out there to be considered general knowledge, and it really doesn't help that for the final round, all 7 of the last questions cover the same theme, meaning that if you're unfamiliar with the topic in question, you will straight up just be guessing for the remainder of the game. Although, to be honest, it's more than likely that you'd have already been guessing for the entire game anyways. The whole shtick of Lice Water is that they present you with a really absurd statement and are literally just asking you if you think they're lying to you or not. Literally no thought involved. It almost feels like they were more so just intending to wow the players with some crazy facts about the world in the form of a trivia game. It kinda reminds me of these National Geographic Weird But True books I was into as a kid. I used to love reading the obscure facts in these books, so to have had a trivia game based on them could have really been cool. This game just feels like it was made for kids. It's sort of weird when you think about it. I mean, the questions are presented within these colorful anthropomorphic flies and are written in a childish font. There are all these cutesy cartoony sound effects that play after every answer. The theme song sounds like something from a kid's TV channel, and the narrator even talks like he's in front of an audience of kids.
New players can go to this website and enter this room code to join the game at any time.
Barney ass bitch. Considering all of that and the game's 100 player support, I feel like this game would work best in a 5th grade classroom. Genuinely, I feel like a group of kids could have fun with this at school, much like those Weird But True books I mentioned and Kahoot. Now the only problem with that is, despite the kid-friendly presentation, this game does not hesitate to drop loads of questions about penises, vaginas, and just all kinds of mature topics. And while later Jackbox packs include family-friendly modes for their games, this pack does not. Meaning that even if you wanted to pull out Lice Water for that very specific instance, you couldn't. And even if you could, that still wouldn't make me happy about its inclusion in this party pack or anything. And aside from all that, this game's presentation, much like WordSpud's, is also very boring. Dull gray background, lame ass music, that's all back for more here in Lice Water, so that's nice. The only redeeming quality I can think of for this game is that it's paced fairly well. The questions are fired at you pretty rapidly, and the game's over quickly enough. Even for being only around 7 minutes though, I always found myself beyond tired of it by the end of the first round. Maybe if you like trivia, your opinions on that'll differ, but even then, this game is an incredibly lackluster trivia experience compared to the others in the Jackbox series, and even just the ones in this pack. It does its job, I guess, so I'd say it's more competent than WordSpud, but I absolutely enjoy it less. And by that, I mean not at all. Not even ironically. Hell, at one point, even the game didn't want us to keep playing it. Lollybags. Pause.
What just happened?
Why is this saying true again? What is happening? This game is glitching. What is happening? This is not the stream, this is the game. There's just no prompt. Wait. Bro, the game doesn't even want to play itself.
The game doesn't even want us to play it.
Jesus Christ.
This game is so bad. Why are you playing this?
Even on the programming level, this game sucks. Man, talk about buggy.